There are 80 men on death row at the Florida State Prison located near Stark in the north-central part of the state. Like Gary Gilmore, most of them, 78, have been convicted for first-degree murder. But unlike him, almost none of the men here want to die. And according to a prison official, few of the condemned prisoners believe they will be executed, since their attorneys keep telling them they won't be. 26-year-old James Raulerson was convicted of killing a Jacksonville police officer during a robbery and has been on death row for 15 months. He sees the Gilmore execution as precedent-setting and finds inconsistencies in public attitudes toward death row inmates.
The way I look at it is like I expect society is going to have to kill 5, 6, maybe 10 people before they stop and realize that what we're doing is we're killing people. And it's just like we're supposed to be one of the most enlightened societies, and what it is like they're saying, well, killing someone is the most brutal thing in the world, and we really value life, and we're going to kill you to prove it.
Former motel executive, 28-year-old Robert Sullivan, was convicted of killing a Homestead motel manager in 1973. He's rated as the most intelligent of the condemned men. Some people would say, well, you were found guilty of killing another human being, therefore you should pay for it in this way.
I've heard, yes.
What's your reaction to that?
Well, that's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth philosophy, I suppose. I just do not feel that the state should commit legal murder, which in the final analysis is what an execution is.
Tomorrow, a further look at death row. Ike Seamans, Channel 4 News at the State Prison in Stark. The state prison located near Stark in north-central Florida is not a pleasant place. It's dark, overcrowded, and understaffing prevents many inmates from getting much-needed rehabilitation. But most of the men in these wings are encouraged about one thing: someday they'll get out. This is Wing R inside Florida State Prison. It's better known as death row. Here there are 80 condemned men who are locked in their cells 6 days a week. 47 are white, 33 are black, 11 are from Dade County. Their average age is 29, their average IQ is 101. Their pasts are varied, but at one time or another they all have a common thought about their future: death by electrocution.
We don't prepare a man for death. We do have counselors working very closely with them, and classification specialists, and attempting to help assist them in meeting their personal needs at this time. But I think that overall their general outlook at the present time is good.
78 of the death row inmates are killers. Most believe the threat of the death penalty would not have stopped them. 28-year-old Robert Sullivan attended the University of Miami and managed motels. In 1973, he killed a manager of a Homestead motel he used to work at during a robbery. An accomplice said Sullivan wanted to commit the perfect crime.
The vast majority of people who do commit crimes that might be sentenced to die either are a passion type of murder, or they do not believe that they're going to be caught. So whatever the sentence is going to be, it's not going to deter anyone, or if it is, it's going to be a very, very small portion of people.
Tomorrow on News Weekend, condemned men on death row face the unfaceable, the electric chair. Ike Seamans, Channel 4 News at the State Prison in Stark. From the death row exercise area, it can be seen. The convicts call it Old Sparky. Into the three-legged oaken chair is strapped the condemned prisoner. His chest, arms, legs, and torso are bound. Electrodes are attached to his shaven legs, arms, and scalp. The 12 strangers there to witness the electrocution are the last thing to be seen by the man as the hood is lowered over his head. Then, 2,400 volts of electricity are sent rippling through the body. 2 more cycles are conducted, but the first was enough. This fate could be in store for the 80 men on death row. 11 are from Dade County.
That's a very difficult thing to think about, and one of the things I try not to dwell on is all that often.
Do you ever think about it?
Definitely. It's hard not to think about it. There's no way I would like to die, and certainly not be executed in the electric chair.
Have you thought about it a lot?
No, very little, really. I mean, the most it is just like us sitting here thinking that one day, James, you're going to grow old and you're going to die. Death is just a way of life. So dying in the electric chair doesn't really scare me. It's, you know, no big deal.
Interestingly enough, privately, few of the men who work with the condemned prisoners are in favor of capital punishment. Florida State Prison Superintendent B.J. Leverette has never been associated with an execution in 16 years of prison work.
As an objective individual, I think that it will be something that I don't look forward to. To say that I like what I have to do, I don't think I will like it. Of course, just as it's the other things that I don't like about my job that I have to do in this type of business. But I will fulfill this responsibility.
It is still not known when or if the first execution in Florida since 1964 will occur, since most of the death row inmates are deeply involved in the court's appeal process. And if that fails, they have one more chance. They can ask the governor and his cabinet to commute their sentence. And the cabinet will, on December 8th, consider new clemency procedures. Ike SEAMANS, Channel 4 News at the State Prison in Stark, Florida.